Ladies and gentlemen, behold, the first ever release of Red as a single. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty crazy to think considering Red has been around since day one, 2006 Desert Series. And this right here is that very version that's nearly 20 years old. I've managed to keep it around in the collection. You can kind of tell it's showing some age, but it holds up really nicely. And this is how Mattel produced Red from 2006 to 2010. A smaller version that was able to fit in 2-packs and multi-packs, but it was full die-cast besides obvious components like side view mirrors, ladder, base, tires, etc. But really cool, had some nice charm to it. And then Cars 2 came along in 2011. Mattel decided to upgrade Red to the version you see here on the right, or some could argue, downgrade Red. While he was made significantly larger and now a deluxe, no longer available in 2-packs or multi-packs, mostly, he lost a lot of die-cast metal. This whole back portion, plastic now. Front mouth plate, which kind of looks ugly, plastic. But now you have a larger, more accurate, in scale with Lightning McQueen, Mater, and other characters version of Red. And that version stuck with us all the way up until just last year. Even amidst the shift from production from China to Thailand in 2018, Red maintained his status as a deluxe all the way up until 2022 when Mattel canceled the deluxe line. But fear not, Mattel made a very brave and bold decision to put him back into 2-packs. They were able to do this by making the blister large enough to fit him and Stanley and kind of balance it out with a large deluxe character now in a 2-pack, which usually is reserved for singles, and a plastic accessory in Stanley that really doesn't hold up, would not be able to be released on its own as a single. Everything was pretty copacetic. It's like, okay, cool, deluxes are gone, but we still get the fan favorite character Red, always sold well, until this year. Red has now been delegated once again down to a single, but this time they were unable to keep his accurate size as a deluxe, and they have now returned him to his original 2006 form here on the left. Now we're going to see if the size matches up perfectly. Like, is this exactly the same as our 2006 to 2010 version? Or is it maybe slightly bigger? Is there more plastic on it? Those are the questions we're going to answer today. I have a whole bunch of fun stuff planned. We have the Precision Series version of Red. We have a road trip version of Red. We have a canceled fan favorites version of Red. We have a prototype version of Red. So we're going to have a blast today, guys, with a lot of fire trucks, right? But yes, fire trucks. That is what this whole series is about. Well, at least half of it. Race and rescue here. Fortunately, they didn't make Red a rally racer. That wouldn't make too much sense. But, I mean, they did make Lightning McQueen a rescue vehicle, which also doesn't make too much sense. But either way, Red here came out of 2025 singles case W, now hitting Target stores across the U.S., so good luck finding it. It is very brand new, though, so give it some time. I'll leave the link for the unboxing of that case in the description below, and card session pop up in the top right-hand corner. Red undeniably is going to be the favorite of that case. As time goes on, I think he will also maintain some value, because even though he has been made smaller, a lot of people still look as Red or look up to Red as a pretty premium character, someone that you used to only be able to get in deluxes and 2-packs, now available as a single with a new paint job. That actually makes sense. You know, when this series came along, you couldn't not include the fire truck Red. Like, that was a must, so I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad they include Sheriff as well. Those two really do make sense for this series. I think the artwork looks great, even though it's just a repurposing of previous artwork. You could see the new yellow wheels, the blue trim, some new decals and stuff, which we will take a look at here soon. So very excited about this. Best of luck finding it, though. He is going to be quite rare. Even though there are only one of also Sarge and Rally Race Jackson in the case, and Ryan Shields, the Vuezine racer, I think we can all agree that Red will end up being the most popular and rarest. Even though maybe initially Ryan Shields could be, he'll be back in another case, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think we need to worry too much about that. And Sarge and Jackson definitely not going to be more popular than red here. Speaking of which, they are on the back of the package here, and we will be reviewing both of them very soon. In fact, I have them here. I'm excited to get into those, but definitely more excited for red. There's so many more implications with his scale and everything, so I really want to check that out. You have Lightning McQueen and Chick Hicks that we already reviewed. Actually, Chick has gotten a lot of spotlight on the channel as a single in the 2-pack with Rally Race McQueen. Race and Rescue McQueen also getting quite a bit of spotlight on the channel, so you could check out those individual videos. But I will be right back with Mr. Red all opened up here. Here we have red out of the package, looking very nice. Hopefully when the book comes out, and I do hope it includes some visualizations of these characters, really want to see how large or how small Red's part in the story is. It would make sense for him to have quite a decent role, at least relative to how we've seen him in the movies, at least, Cars 2 and Cars 3. Red's such a sneaky, great character. He's a sleeper, and I think we can all agree on that. The 2-pack that's come out in 2023 and 2024 with Stanley has sold very well. It's been a rare 2-pack, even more so than the 2-packs with new characters. The movie prop and the Pitties, Chiefess even. I feel like I found way more of all those, Ken and Janoki, Justin Roadrigger, than the Red Stanley 2-pack. And honestly, why couldn't we have done that this year just with Race and Rescue Red and then maybe one of the lower tier characters like Kathy Copter, not much die-cast metal, a lot of plastic. Or maybe I would have just conceded, what about we do Red and Guido? That's it. I'm cool with that. Luigi, I don't really need you with your flag. The flag looks a little goofy to me. Just chop Luigi off. You get Guido with the cute fireman hat, and you get Red in a 2-pack. That thing would sell like hotcakes. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I think we all would have preferred that instead of Red being downscaled as the single here, and then we get a 2-pack of like Sheriff and Adam Roadriguez. I don't know. I mean, we could have gotten that too. Whatever. Okay, so let the comparisons begin here. Here we have Red up against 2006 Desert Red. Now, again, like I said, this was the version that they released for about 5 years, 2006 to 2010. You could tell that this is the OG, though, Disney Pixar Thailand, before Thailand variants really became a thing in 2018. 2006, they made stuff in Thailand, and yet when they moved to China in 2007, the difference is there were no really variants because they were so similar. When that shift happened again, just the opposite way, China to Thailand in 2018, things changed drastically. So interesting there. My poor Red's always had a little scar on his forehead, probably because 5-year-old me was having a blast with him. But overall, he's held up very nicely, and I am so grateful to still have this guy. And yep, he serves as my primary Red on display in my display case. Granted, I have the Deluxe here too, but he's the guy. And I will say, I think it might be the tires that are propping him up to make him look a little bit taller. Because I do think this is the same model. I think they went back to the well. They went back 15 years to get this casting. Thailandify it, make it Race and Rescue. Now the shade of red's a lot brighter. The expression's a lot different. You have him smiling with the full teeth now. Looking a little bit more confident than the shy Red. See, I love this version because it really depicted Red accurately, kind of shy. When the Cars 2 version came along, which maybe makes sense. As time goes on, he definitely got happier. He wasn't, having to mourn the loss of his flowers anymore and stuff like that. So maybe it makes sense. I think it does. But yes, I think the tires are propping him up a little bit more. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a good question. He doesn't look any wider. If anything, he's just maybe a little bit taller. I'll let you guys make that determination, but to me, this is the same model here. You can nitpick millimeters, but who wants to do that? It's a lot easier to just compartmentalize in our heads that this is the new scale, or they went back to the old scale, not necessarily making a new one here. But yeah, they changed up a couple things, but overall, pretty much the same. I think they kind of reworked how the windshield looks here, removing this little line and making it a little bit smoother, kind of flow a little bit more. You have the eyeliner, obviously. The expression looks good. I'm cool with it. I do miss the chrome bumper and all these other chrome elements that we got on Red. You know, at least it's chrome. If it's going to be plastic, at least it's chrome plastic. Now we have this kind of ugly, plasticky looking gray font. Well, yeah, because it is plastic, but at least the chrome kind of makes it look a little bit cooler. While we're down here, U13A means he was producer in the 13th week of 2025 at the A factory in Thailand. There's his product code, JDG50. So instead of the Radiator Springs Fire Department logo there, it has been replaced with the Radiator Springs Race and Rescue logo. Now I do want to point out here, this is your traditional Race and Rescue logo that we see on Lightning McQueen and Mater, but it is not going to be the same one that we see here on Sheriff, and it's not going to be the same one that we see on Sarge either. So even though Red has the main one, we are going to see variants of it as we go through. So I do like that Red has the traditional, like the main one, because again, he is the fire truck. He should be at the center of any rescue fire efforts there are in Radiator Springs. So to me, that makes sense. I'm happy with it. You have the blue trim there, the yellow wheels with a little bit of like a blueberry light blue inside. That looks a little strange to me. Is that even supposed to be there? I mean, I guess. Just looks a little weird to me. I feel like it should have been just all yellow, right? All yellow. But I like the decal, like the yellow stripe behind it. Looks really good. Adds a little bit of spice to Red. You know, the windows, I'm not big on those with the black outline. I think that looks a little strange, like a little forced. A little cartoonish. The siren lights up here are now plastic pieces that protrude from the roof. Before they were a part of the roof. They were part of the main metal body there. And yeah, unfortunately, it does appear that even though they went back to this original scale, they didn't go back to the original distribution of die-cast metal. This is all plastic still. And by still, I mean like the deluxe version that we had become accustomed to getting. I mean, again, guys, to stress, the only die-cast metal is literally right here. This whole part, plastic, 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 all the way back, plastic, kind of like Mater was. Until Thailand took over. When Thailand took over, they made it all die-cast metal for Mater, right? They did not do that for Red when they took over, which is fine. I mean, it's a deluxe character, right? I understand that. A lot of deluxes have a lot of plastic. The idea of them being deluxe is because they're bigger, right? Don't necessarily need them to be weighing a pound. However, now that he's back being a single, I think we all would appreciate at least getting a little bit more die-cast metal because, yeah, this is kind of cheap, Let's just focus on the Race and Rescue version here of Red, see if anything's different when we go back. You have the control panel here. I like the red lines that they painted in there with the white dots. Adds a little bit to it. You have this textured decal here for Rescue with the stripes. I think that all looks pretty good. You have the ladder up here, the hose, typical Red stuff. And on the back, very clear, I will say that, Carburetor County, Radiator Springs logo 002, which has been his license plate from day one. So glad that they stuck with that. It looks clearer than this original version. And you would hope so. I mean, this is 19 years of innovation. They also painted the red lights in the back there, so that's a plus. I think I do like the darker gray ladder. I will give them that. I appreciate that. But I miss the chrome. All these other chrome elements look so cool. You do have the bell on this side, which also looks a little cheaper because now that's plastic instead of being die-cast metal. Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed, but I can't say. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't expecting some of these things. Honestly, the original 2006 to 2010 Red has a lot of great things about it, being, die-cast, cute little expression. But then I kind of like having it in scale with all my other characters. So I like the deluxe version that we got from 2011 up until last year. So, I mean, it's a tough line to walk, I guess you could say. So let's compare him here to the 2011 Deluxe version. And if they're, I don't think they really did date stamps quite yet. Oh, yes, they did. 0561. So, yeah, perfect sense. 56th day of 2011 at the AZ factory. Still some less text here on the base, but still chrome. I do have to give Mattel credit. They kept some of the chrome elements on the deluxe version of Red while making some other parts plastic that we weren't used to. Like this big mouth plate here, not ideal. I'm not big on that, but hey, at least the bumper has a nice shine to it. Side view mirrors now, not as much of a shine to it. Just for comparison there, a lot floppier. I'll let you guys make the deductions on the rest of this stuff here. Don't need me talking in your ear the whole time. I do miss the chrome, but again, we've seen this happen with a lot of variants. When there's like a shiny plastic piece, it's like Thailand is incapable of making anything chrome or shiny. They just default to this very, very plastic looking gray. A gray plastic. I mean, it is plastic, right? But a perfect example is like Wingo with Flames here. If you look at the Chinese version, the exhaust pipe looks a lot shinier. Now it just looks like gray disgustingness, like gravel. I don't know. It's sandpaper texture. You guys can check out my review on that. Again, as to be expected, but still a little disappointed. The black outline around the window is a little strange to me. Whatever. I do like this still. All that being said, I am a fan of this red here. Let's do a comparison, though, to the Precision Series version, which is unfair. I mean, the Precision Series version, as the name implies, is meant to be precise and amazing, which it absolutely is. Still plenty of plastic on this version, but you have the rubber treaded tires. You have the moving pieces and everything, which is just so cool. I don't even want to break it. I haven't moved it in forever, so it might be a little brittle. Got a very vibrant expression, lots of chrome pieces, the extra yellow detailing there. Just a beautiful job that Mattel did on the Precision Series. I mean, look at how well this back part here is textured. Yeah, it kind of makes me miss it. They colored these parts in. Makes me wish we got the courthouse. Makes me wish a lot of things, actually. Precision Series was awesome. Very sad that it had to go by the wayside. Now, some future versions of Red did lose that plastic mouth plate that I was complaining about. Like the road trip version here that came out in like 2016. Very, very rare, but not canceled. And the first expanded universe version of Red. What did they do to him? Slap an American flag on top and give him a little trailer here with a bigger hose. Basically an extension cord. But I thought that was still cool. He was so close to being canceled, guys. I mean, him and the Fillmore with the trailer, so close to being canceled. Yeah, I like this expression too. It looks so much better without that mouth plate. Everything in the back is still plastic and the same. So I do think some of the newer versions of just regular Red lost that mouth plate as well. So do keep that in mind, that complaint of mine was ameliorated and taken care of quite some time ago. But we're being thorough here. So although that expanded universe version of Red just snuck out, the fan favorites version was not quite as fortunate and did receive the axing. So yeah, this was a few years later in about 2020. Well, yeah, a little bit sooner, I guess, because this is a Chinese version. The fan favorites line was kind of wedged in between and got pushed over and then made in Vietnam. It was very strange, right? And a lot of them got canceled, including a Lizzie, a Mater, a Fillmore, a Lightning McQueen, lots of them. Red here as well. We have no idea how they'd release Red. Probably in a multi-pack, probably like a Target exclusive 4-pack, because they did do a Target exclusive 4-pack for fan favorites, but I guess they probably would have had to do another one. I don't know. That's very curious. But yeah, you have the Fabulous Lightning McQueen flag and the Dinoco Cruise flag up here. Very hard to find a canceled version of this guy with good condition flags. All of them are pretty tattered and beaten, but it's a cool canceled car, very forlorn. You know, when people think about canceled cars, they usually don't think about this one because it is just red with a couple flags stuck on. So easily customizable. Now, here is the Thailand prototype here of red. Pretty crazy, right? And you could see here that this is all die-cast metal, all the dark blue. This is a great visualization of what's plastic and what's not, what's metal and what's plastic. Blue, die-cast metal. Simple as that. So they did make all this here on the front, die-cast, sirens plastic, everything else plastic. I think that's a good trade-off, though. I like, again, that this part here became die-cast metal, unlike when they originally released them in 2011, some of those early Cars 2 releases for red. So they kept some of those elements, like the sirens up here staying plastic, the mouth plate staying die-cast metal, and then everything else pretty much being plastic. I'm sure I've tired you guys out on a conversation of plastic and metal, so now let's do some fun comparisons with Mater and Lightning McQueen, who, again, if we're trying to make heads and tails, would, be on his team. Like, Red should be the leader of the team as, the main fire representation in the town. So hopefully they make it make sense in the book. So much hinges upon this book. Maybe that's why they are not releasing until September. They're waiting to hear all of our feedback on this, and then they're just going to make sure they adhere to all of our demands and make it make sense. They're like, yeah, let's just wait for all the criticism to come out so then we could remedy all of it with the book. It's like people can say, oh, Red should be the guy. McQueen, we need to make it make sense that McQueen is 2 paint jobs. We'll take care of all that when we write it on August 31st to come out 2 weeks later. Who knows? Who knows, guys? But these three do look pretty amazing together with their matching paint jobs. I think we'll have a couple more maybe that have similar paint jobs like Adam Roadriguez, but Sarge and Sheriff, my bad, will have varying, and kind of a different take on the race and rescue, kind of their own paint jobs. Sheriff, black and yellow. Sarge being kind of his, army green and a dark red. So those will be cool to see, but these three, are a phenomenal squad together. Adam Roadriguez, it's like kind of the weird, kid from across the street. It's like, well, you look like us, but, you really don't belong with our group here. I don't know. Maybe Adam's cool with them now, somehow. All the way from the Truckies road stop. Or maybe this is Cars 3 Adam Roadriguez. Who knows, right? Speaking of which, I got him over here. He's chilling. He's waiting. He's waiting his turn. He'll be in the next video. Red narrowly beat out Sheriff and Adam Roadriguez in the vote, the poll that I put out the other day on my channel. So guys, let me know so far, who is your favorite race and rescue / rally race character? McQueen, Mater, Red, Chick Hicks. I'll let you guys even put Cruz Ramirez in there, even though she's not fully out yet. Or the rally race version of Lightning McQueen. And maybe you found all of them. You have Sergeant Jackson and Sheriff and Adam that you can toss into the queue as well. But we'll be reviewing those very soon here, guys. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye.